Are we recording?
We are now. Hey, I'm Kelley.
Hi, I'm Gabe.
Hi, I'm Hannah.
We're mixing it up this week. We have our Northern Ohio organizer. What? What is his face?
I'm the senior organizer.
My mistake. The senior organizer. Oh no, I've been called out. The senior organizer, Hannah Servadio, is on our podcast this week. So yay, Hannah, welcome back to the podcast.
Hi, guys.
She's very excited to be here. She's here to talk about this really awesome event she just did this past weekend. She did a massive music festival called Roe Yeah. Had like 12 bands. Tell us about it.
I did. So for the last year and a half or so, I've been working with bands. There is a pretty famous band called Boxing. They're from somewhere in the Midwest. I don't remember exactly where, but
we are somewhere in the Midwest.
We are also somewhere in the Midwest. I don't know. The Midwest is vast
and unforgiving.
So Boxing made a tweet, and I've listened to Boxing for a long time. They're a great band, and the tweet was like, "Hey, if you're a local organization, come, let us know, and we'd love to work with you when we're touring." And I was like, "Hey, that's me. I'm a local organization." And so they were like, "Dope, come hang out with us." And I did. I went to the show, and they had me speak on stage, which was very cool and weird. And the room was so big, and so many of my friends were in that room. But that started like a progression of working with bands when they come to Ohio, and also my friends' bands, like local bands. The local music scene is something that I care about very much in Cleveland, and I know a lot of people in it. I go to a lot of the shows, and it just felt right to marry the two. So for a while, I've been working on this plan to put on a fast. And the idea was, when I go to these shows, I'm normally just speaking and, doing petition signatures and what have you. But what if we take those people that are already interested in the process and like the music, but also like what we're talking about, and turned it into a bigger way for them to engage? So we were planning, and it turned into this huge 12-band fest that we did.
That's incredible.
Thank you.
Gabe is very sad he was not able to attend.
I am.
Gabe was experiencing serious FOMO, and I mean,
I was.
You should have been. It was fun.
Yeah, no, it was a great event. There was a huge turnout. Everybody was super nice.
I was very nervous that nobody would come, which was just like my anxiety, not necessarily that people would actually not come, but I kept having like thoughts that my friends would come, but like just like stand outside and like laugh, but not actually come inside.
Do you really hate your friends that much?
No.
Next time you have
that was the opposite.
Next time you have a big event, I'm going to rig it so that every time a ticket is sold, it sends you an email that says, "Sorry, I'm not going to make it."
Do you want me to have like a full-on mental breakdown in the office?
Anyway,
that feels like what would happen.
If you're wondering what the life of an organizer is like, it's very similar to this.
That might be my greatest idea ever.
That's not funny. Any greater than the screenshots you send of us of our faces at weird angles or turn us into GIFs?
Yeah, well,
GIFs?
when you're testifying before the Senate, I have to move quick. But as for your event, so you got Mayhall's. How did you guys get Mayhall's?
So I did get Mayhall's,
which is a concert venue / bowling alley. I learned.
A pretty badass one.
It's super dope. It's well known in Cleveland. It's in Lakewood, which is also where a lot of that community takes place, music, because there's a lot of venues right over there. And yeah, I happen to know the talent booker manager there, and we had this conversation, and I've seen them do fundraisers there before. And because of the idea of what we wanted it to look like and the capacity of people that are the amount of people that we'd like to attend, Mayhall's just kind of seemed like the right place. And so they have 3 stages: a main stage, the apartment, which is upstairs, and then the downstairs, which is called the locker room. And so we were actually able to stagger the bands. So none of them overlapped the other one, but there was constantly like a band going. So people saw bands and then they came out, and the whole main room of the event was like action tables. We had an Ask Me About My Abortion table that was staffed by people that have had abortions and talking about
patients to advocates folks.
Yeah, so, some of our patients to advocates folks, but also just some volunteers. We had a board member that was involved with the Ask Me About My Abortion table. It was awesome. People had a lot of really good conversations. We did a sex trivia table. We did a Twitter testimony table and a huge raffle table made up of like a ton of really like super cool Cleveland businesses that wanted to be part of it. So it felt like a really hometown community event, which is how I wanted it to feel. Like people that are already worked up and angry and want to get involved in some way, but don't know how to do it. So you're going to go to a show anyway. That's how I feel about partnering with bands, is I'm going to go to that show anyway. And if I can turn it into an opportunity to have conversations and, you know, get people engaged, then I will do that. So that's what we did.
The lineup that you guys had, I mean, the point where I got kind of before the event was happening the most excited was then I saw the graphic that showed all the different bands across the three stages, because it looked exactly like, you know, if you go to Bonnaroo, if you go to Lollapalooza, and they have how many stages, and then you see where all the bands are going to be, and then you start to figure out, oh, well, I can go to that one, then I'll go over to the stage and I'll see that one. This is the first time I've ever seen like an event organized by local nonprofits that had multiple stages, and then there was a whole lineup with, you're going to go see this on this stage, and then you go over to this stage. That's never happened before.
Well, luckily,
so when I saw that, I was like, oh, wow, this is like a big thing.
And as I understand it, Mayhalls only does it like 2 or 3 times a year, where they open up more than one of their stages at a time.
It's not an often thing. They'll do it occasionally, especially if they have like local bands on, like a bigger band type of thing. But no, they don't do it all the time.
We're special.
We are special. And what I was going to say about that is that I am so grateful for my friends in the incredible band Biitchseat. They are a band from Northeast Ohio. And
Bitch with 2 eyes.
Bitch with 2 eyes.
Link in the show notes.
They're going to love that. And so they're good friends of mine, and they wanted to be involved, but they wanted to take kind of like a leadership stance in this. So they actually didn't play, but they helped us organize the whole thing. So all of that, the schedule being put together, how that even looked with the color coordination, that was all them. I loved it. I thought it looked amazing, but the booking of the bands isn't really my forte, and they have experience with that. So that all went down because of them.
How many volunteers did you have? Not including the band members.
Well, who helped out? I mean, the band members were like, what can we do?
Yeah.
I'd say probably between 25 and 30 throughout the night. We had people working tables. We had people selling raffle tickets. We had people taking pictures, like walking around, photographers, getting quotes from people. We just had people in a lot of different positions and capacities to make sure that we kept the night as involved as possible. And so
that's more volunteers than we have run an average lobby day at the State House.
Yeah, tell me about it. There were,
in defense, those are usually staff members.
Right?
There were volunteers that looked at me that were like, so what should I do? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't have a role for you. All the roles are filled. Go have fun. So
enjoy yourself. That's your job.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Please publicly post how much fun you're having.
Right.
Right.
Convince your friends to come down for like the last hour and a half of this. Might as well.
And so Melissa said that actually, Melissa Benson, who's one of our board members, she was there for the event. And she was saying that she was having conversations with people. And there was this group of like young men that were teen boys that, you know, were coming around the event and saw how packed it was and came in and bought tickets and started seeing the bands, which was awesome. So yeah, it was I'm pretty proud of it. It was a really cool event.
It was a production.
And I can't wait to do it again.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Check us out in 3 months when we have another one. Roe Yeah.
Everyone's like, next year. I'm like, no, soon. Let's get planning for it.
I was thinking about different venues in Columbus. It's like, where can we hold one of these?
I really want to do one in Dayton, actually.
And I want to do it in Toledo.
That'd be great.
Because we had Libby, what's her name? A couple weeks ago, she was on our podcast, or we were on her podcast. I don't remember. There's so many things that happen.
So many things.
Libby Ballingy and Dayton.
Yes, she works with music stuff in her other job, so we could hook up with her for that.
Love to work with music stuff.
Listen, not a music person. I don't like sounds.
So you had 12 bands in the lineup. Of those, were there any that? I mean, how were the bands picked? Are there any that, you know, are worthy of further discussion on the show.
Well,
who should we know about?
All Midwestern, like hometown boys and girls.
That's
and
what I was gonna
non-binary
say.
pals.
Exactly. I don't want to pick out a particular band and say that they were greater than another band because we had incredible bands. No, I'm not going to do that.
Pick out a band and tell us more about it.
But I will tell you about one particular singer-songwriter. They go by the name Absinthe Father, and they came from Philadelphia, and that's why it stood out to me. Is they drove 7 hours for a non-paid fundraiser show that benefits an organization that's not even in their state. It was incredible, and I am deeply grateful for all of the bands who came in and participated. They're all incredible.
We do stuff for Pittsburgh people, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, in theory.
In theory.
Links to all of the bands will be in the show notes.
Yeah.
So yeah, congratulations, Hannah. That was a kick-ass event.
Thank you.
We're all very proud of you. And you ended up raising almost $5,000.
Yeah, that's a cool part too. Is we raised a lot of money, and it was all I feel like I sound very like presidential candidate, but they're all small dollar donations. the tickets weren't $50 tickets to the band. It was like
average donation was $27.
Not even that much. It was like
not
14.
even that much. Right. I was like, who are you trying to imitate? But then I got it. The tickets were $12 in advance, $14 if you were under 21, and then $14.16 a day of. And so, I mean, for the average ticket price being under $20, and then we were doing raffle tickets for like
shout out to volunteer Nick who can hustle.
My friend Nick is an angel and held a roll of raffle tickets and walked around the entire night just
give me money,
asking people to give him money. And you know what? People did.
Yeah.
So
that's the hardest part, is just drumming up the foresight to say, give me money.
Yeah, people who can do that and work a crowd are saints when they put their skills 100% for good.
That's why I didn't do it. I didn't want to look at anyone and start crying and be like, please donate. I want this to go well.
Well, it went incredibly.
Thank you.
Good job. We're all very proud of you.
Thanks.
So I guess I have to talk about my events next, which are actually just an extension of Hannah's events. So back in last month, was it November or December? November. It's gotta be.
I don't remember. November.
2019 is a memory.
Back in the olden decade.
last
week
in the teens.
was a long time ago.
Fair. Anyway, Hannah in the fall did a lot of fantastic events with Mel Bar and Grilled up in Northeast Ohio. So we did 5 right up there. And
shout out Jess.
Yes.
Their marketing director, who is
an angel.
An incredible angel.
Sweet lady.
We love her, and we love the partnership that we built with Mel through this program.
It's really been incredible. So we have done that here in Central and Southern Ohio. We had Easton Melt on Tuesday. Yesterday we had Dayton. Tonight we have the Short North one. It's going to be popping. It's going to be ridiculous. I'm terrified. It's going to be lit.
Hopefully not as lit as yesterday.
Yeah, don't actually hand me lit. That's what I mean. But they've been, like, all the servers have been really impressed with all the business we've been managing to bring in. You said that Jess said we have been the biggest fundraiser through them that they've ever had.
The Cleveland Heights one, when we were in Cleveland Heights, the servers and people that worked there said it was like the most populated fundraiser they had ever seen at the Cleveland Heights location. So, but I mean, I don't know if you want to talk about at all the deeper, I mean, it's grilled cheese, but like the language part of it.
Yeah. I mean, we've been calling this collection of events Melt Stigma because it's a pun and it's cheese and it's choice. But like the intent behind the event.
Cheese and its choice.
Listen.
Cheese.
My body, my cheese.
I want a shirt that says it's cheese and it's choice. Please give me my choice of cheese.
Nerds.
Are you coming tonight?
I went at lunch.
Yeah, he already ate his grilled cheese today.
Yeah.
That's fine.
But the Melt Stigma is to talk about our language around abortion, how to talk about abortion without making your language stigmatizing. And it's actually kind of cool because there are a lot of NARAL affiliates that do like cheese and wine and chocolate fundraisers. So this is kind of like a interesting twist on that, honestly.
Yeah.
Way more fun and less expensive. It's not one of those hoity-toity fundraisers. It's just like, let me get my grilled cheese.
No, it's it's definitely not. It's very, again, has the hometown feel that we
Yeah.
like.
And I mean, it's an Ohio business too.
Yes, we love to support Ohio businesses that love to support us.
Yeah.
And it's what, 20%, right? Of
25, I think.
25% of each
Anything.
meal
Yeah.
that you bring the flyer for, show the flyer for.
It could apply to
Comes back to us.
catering, to go orders, eat in
Alcohol.
order. Yeah. Alcohol, everything.
So
Yeah. So come
it's
eat.
great.
Hope you got your cheese, because if you're listening to this, it's too late.
I had the chicken and waffles grilled cheese.
How was it?
It was delicious.
I had the chicken paprikash mac and cheese the other night.
Yes, supportive of that.
It was good.
Love chicken paprikash.
Yes, I love it in any forms, and you add cheese and it's even better. love cream-based foods this week.
Shout out our operations director, Rachel, who makes an incredible from scratch chicken paprikash that she brought me.
Brought.
To me.
Guys, I don't know if you know this, but it's been a tough few weeks for us.
She brought me leftover chicken paprikash to the office because she likes to feed me, and it was delicious.
I don't know what kind of weird Southern twang slash.
And I'm
Long
hanging out with
Island
Kelly,
accent.
so I'm like, all means y'all. Y'all means all. Please.
Guys, we need to get through January.
In like 2 weeks.
This is either the best podcast or the worst podcast we've ever made.
Oh my God.
Behind the scenes, we're also working on endorsements, so Hannah and I are tired.
We have made so many phone calls.
So many.
With lots of very nice people, though.
And then some terrible. No, it's fine. They're all fine. Most of them are fine.
These are candidates running in the
State House and State Senate.
In this March primary election.
Yes. So we are trying to get our endorsements out to you by the beginning of February. So keep an eye out for those in the coming weeks.
And one thing I thought, I don't know if you've been hearing this, but in my phone calls, we split the state. So Kelly has done the southern and central half of the state, and I've done the northern half of the state. Was so many people that are running for office specifically because of the 6-week abortion ban or other abortion bans that they've seen, and they're sick of the attacks, and it made them stand up and want to run for office.
Yeah.
So when they tell us that, I'm like, you are getting on our good side. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I had one candidate tell me that like every third door he's knocked, they've been mentioning abortion as one of their top issues.
Yep.
So that's good to hear. That's good to know. And let's kick some ass this year, guys.
Oh my God.
For the love of God, let's kick some ass. Anyway, in legislation news, or at least legislation adjacent, we've been having community meetings here in Central Ohio about a non-discrimination ordinance related to repro health. So some community meetings, we had one yesterday oh no, I've forgotten. Please tell me where it was yesterday. Gabriel also does not know.
I don't live here.
Linden already happened. Franklinton is happening. No, wait. Linden is happening on the 8th. Franklinton is happening.
The one last night was the one in your neighborhood.
Oh, on the south side where I live. It's fine. I was in Dayton.
Parsons.
South
side.
Yeah, on the south side. I'm sorry. I'm tired. But so these are conversations about like what our community members have experienced as far as like discrimination around reproductive health, be it abortion, pregnancy, miscarriage management, anything in that vein. If you have experienced discrimination, we're interested in hearing from you. We're hoping to have city council work on a reproductive health non-discrimination act. So like theoretically under this ordinance, you would not be allowed to be kicked out of your housing because you've had an abortion or because you are pregnant or because you have a newborn, things that should already be illegal, just kind of covering things where we can.
Right. And this is an ordinance that does not yet exist. It's not yet introduced.
We're just taking feedback so we can take it to city council.
Kind of an early comment period. Planned Parenthood of Greater Ohio.
And then Root.
And then Restoring Our Own Through Transformation, ROTT.
ROOTT.
ROOTT. That's what I said.
It's
not. These are the other organizations that are co-hosting these open meetings with us.
And we're offering childcare at these meetings. We're offering food. Like we want people to come and bring it's a reproductive health like non-discrimination act. Like your children are allowed and encouraged to attend, I promise.
At the library.
Yeah, like it's we have childcare, we have food. Come. They're open to the public. We want to hear from you. So the next one is next Friday, the 31st at the Franklinton Library branch from 10:30 to 12.
That word she just said was 31st.
What did I say? What do you think I said?
First.
All right. All right. And
Listen,
then
we work really hard.
we are trying so
We're trying so hard.
And then February 8th is the Linden community meeting at the branch in Linden. Cool. Kenmore is like, it's on Kenmore.
The link for the information is in the show notes.
If you can't understand anything that we're saying during this podcast, all the links will be in the notes.
It's important information. We're just words. Anyway, in the least amount of fun, there has been, is it been introduced or is it in the process of being introduced?
It's introduced.
Okay.
State legislation.
Does it have a bill number yet?
It's getting applied. It's getting one. So
I think it's 260.
okay.
I think so.
Senate bill, House bill,
Senate bill.
Senate bill.
Senate bill.
Potentially, tentatively, Senate Bill 260 has been introduced.
Link to the legislation in the show notes.
I need to make sure I'm right. Hold on.
It has how many? 16 co-sponsors?
16.
All
Which is quite a few in the Senate. There's
Yeah.
only 33 senators.
right. That is just about half. And it is a telemedicine ban. What does that mean? Does it? I do want to know. Does it only apply to abortions?
Yeah. Because telemedicine is a good thing.
Yes.
If you live
In the middle of
150
nowhere.
miles from a doctor, if you live 1,000 miles from a doctor, and you can see a doctor through a video feed, if there's a web camera sitting somewhere and a computer monitor, and that lets you talk to your doctor, that's a good thing. That's amazing technology. This is the benefit of living in the future. Telemedicine is good.
Mm-hmm.
Abortion access is good. You combine the two, you get abortion via telemedicine, also a good thing. You put one good thing together with another good thing. This is a good thing. Senator Steve Huffman wants to ban it.
Boo, boo,
We're not aware of any Ohio providers that are doing abortion through telemedicine, but it's something that happens in other states. It's a good thing when it happens there. So you would go into
They're trying to get ahead of us.
You would go into one doctor's office that maybe that office didn't have an abortion provider on staff. You would sit down at a video conferencing setup, be able to talk to the other doctor. They would then, after having consulted with you, prescribe the medication. It's for medication only.
Right. It's not going to be for
abortion.
nobody can do a surgery over video. This is
Right.
only medication abortion, which is already a very safe procedure.
Yeah, it's incredibly safe. They're prescribing a drug that is incredibly safe. There is no need for physical contact here. This is a safe idea.
There will not be any less risks when you take this first medication if there is a doctor right next to you.
Right. The reason that they're giving for pushing this ban is safety. They're trying to claim somehow that this is an unsafe thing. It is not, because all medication abortions that have happened in Ohio are safe, even if they would happen through telemedicine. This is a bill looking to label something as a problem. They would love to pass this and prohibit it from happening in Ohio. But again, just like all the other bills that we've seen, this General Assembly,
All General Assemblies back in 2011.
all of the General Assemblies, they're bills that are designed to change the narrative. They're taking something that is safe and calling it unsafe just to change the way that people talk about abortions. And unfortunately, they've been doing that very effectively. Even the articles that have stated clearly, this is not a problem, safety, that, we'll still see.
What does the headline say?
We'll still see a headline that says, well, this is a situation that doesn't even happen. It'd be okay if it happened because this is a good form of medicine that's
Right.
administered in a good method.
Lots of other telemedicine is happening nationwide and with different things like, hey, your insurance provider says you can see a doctor via your phone. Congrats, that's telemedicine. You got seen by a doctor for that weird cold you've had.
Right.
It's incredible that they have all the capacity and tax dollars and time to keep working on problems that,
Right.
It's almost
Ohio
like
doesn't have anything else going on.
it's almost like they don't track how many hours their lawyers spend on these cases.
Interesting.
Steve Huffman, Senator Huffman, is a pretty rabid anti-abortion state senator. And so, he's been,
Is it him or Matt that barks their answers?
it's a little bit of both, but it's mostly Steve. There's two Huffmans, Steve and Matt, and neither of them are on your side.
Nope.
That he's pushing this bill to try and block abortion access. It doesn't have anything to do really with the telemedicine end of things.
It's the abortion part.
It's the abortion part. He wants to ban abortion, and this is one way that he feels that he can do that.
Well, boo this man.
I just want everybody to know that the reason why I started laughing was because I looked it up and I was correct, and it was SB 260.
I was gonna say Hannah looks smug. I think she's right. Let's see what it is.
Link in the show notes.
That is correct.
All right. Well, I think that's all we have for this week. So let's take a look at our events, of which there are a lot.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to name a specific band so I can put some music in here in the.
Well, so the band that I spoke during was Mung Bean, and they're amazing.
Are they from Columbus?
That's what I was. So I think they're from Columbus, but I didn't want to get that information wrong. But this is live, so Mung Bean is super dope, and you should check them out if you're listening from Columbus. I think that they are from this area.
They're all great.
They are all fantastic.
Gabe has a list. Just list all the bands to take up more time.
I wasn't trying to take up time, but I just want to give shout outs where they're due.
Yeah.
Well, we do need
Are
more
you going
time.
to read that?
Absence Father,
Philly,
Equipment,
Toledo,
Punch Drunk Tagalongs,
Akron.
She, Her, Hers.
Oh, She, Her, Hers actually didn't play.
Okay.
So there was one band, She, Her, Hers. They're from Michigan. They dropped off because they had like 6 inches of snow and it'd be like a 4-hour drive for them.
And
so
then
they dropped off.
But Mary
Kekik, I believe, is the way that you pronounce her last name. She's a singer-songwriter from, I want to say Akron, but I could be wrong.
She's
I'm
swapped
trying
in.
my best. What?
She's substituted.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Teaminade.
Yeah, they're from Bowling Green.
Okay. Mung Bean. You said Columbus.
Think Columbus.
Slugfest.
I don't remember.
Okay. Frequents.
This is putting me on the spot. It's upsetting.
Sorry.
Cleveland.
Frequents.
Yes. So Alyssa, who is a member of Frequents, is also one of our patients advocates. She's incredible, and she was also on this planning committee with myself and Biitchseat. So Biitchseat and Alyssa put a ton of work into this, and Frequents is amazing. They're all amazing. They're really all great bands.
Alyssa and Taylor both have orange hair, and it was confusing to figure out who was who.
That's true. They both have orange hair currently.
Don't knock it.
Am I docking it?
It's not naturally orange hair.
Oh, well.
You just blend in with everyone else.
Royal Beasts.
Yes, I don't remember where they're from either. Northeast Ohio.
Okay. Lawn Care.
Pittsburgh.
The Katie.
Cleveland.
Is it the Katie, not the Caddy? The Katie.
Katie.
Okay. Sure Machine.
Northeast Ohio.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm totally taking this section of audio and put it in with our previous discussion, so this whole section won't seem like a non sequitur. So
That's
I'm gonna
fine.
edit it back.
Can we re-record it, or should we re-record it?
No, it's fine. What's up in the event calendar?
We have lots of things happening in the next week. Tonight, there are 2 events that you will be too late to go to when you are hearing this, so I'm not going to go over them, I guess. January 24th, which I guess would be today if you are listening to it. There is a all-day fundraiser at Evolved on only the 7th Street location, and it is 12 p.m. to 11 p.m., so all day. And any tattoo you go in there to get, or piercing, or merchandise purchase, whoa, 25% comes back to NARAL Pro-Choice Ohio Foundation. There are some fun flash designs like that you can find in the Facebook page. Event page.
Are they corny?
No, they're not corny. They're very yonic, if you will.
Okay.
Look at my vocabulary. But you can also just get whatever tattoo you want. I might get a cast iron with some roses. I might get a corn. You can't tell me what to do.
I got a tattoo at the last fundraiser we did, which was in Cleveland. I got the pro effing choice on the front of my leg. And I called my dad yesterday and I told him that I was going to go up to Columbus for a couple of days, and we were chatting. And in the middle of my conversation, like I had talked about the tattoo day and then moved on, and he goes, "You're not ever going to get a tattoo on your face, are you?" And I was like,
"Bitch, I might."
It's a consideration. It's not the top of my list, but he was just very fixated. My dad, who is covered head to toe in tattoos, like full sleeves, was like, face, like that's what he zoomed in on. So who knows? Come to the tattoo fundraiser tomorrow. I might get a uterus on my face.
I guess you could. It's like your cheeks could be like the
oh my God.
the ovaries. Anyway,
When I was with SEIU, I had a friend who got SEIU tattooed on his inner lip.
I also have an inner lip tattoo, but I'm not going to tell you what it says.
Now I want to know.
Absolutely not.
Tonight/tomorrow, whatever day you're listening. Anyway, January 24th, in Cleveland, there is RJ Winedown. I don't know much about this event because I'm not in Cleveland. Do you know anything about it?
I really don't know too much about it. It's a partnership event with New Voices for Reproductive Justice, an incredible RJ organization that we work with pretty closely.
Our program manager, Ashley, is taking the lead on this from our side.
Yeah. So they are working together, and I think it's just supposed to be a space focused on Black women to have conversations about reproductive justice, and gives them a chance to, have some wine and some food and have some good conversation. So I don't know too much about it, but I will be there.
Okay. And then Saturday, January 25th, there is a coffee and care packages event with our friends at WHO and RCRC at the People's Mansion here in Columbus. 9:30. They're going to be having a nice coffee hour and also making abortion care packages for abortion patients across the state.
Love that.
And then same day at noon, there's going to be an abortion speak out. This is centering people who have had abortions. And it's also with the People's Mansion. That's with Urge and WHO. And then next Thursday, January 30th, there's a reproductive health happy hour here in Columbus. The ACLU is actually hosting that one. It'll be fun times. And then the 31st, we have our Franklinton Repro Health Non-Discrimination Community Meeting. And that's all we have for the rest of January so far. Oh my God, I hope there's nothing that comes up.
I was going to say, I don't think, because of how big the Mayhalls event was, I don't think I have anything else on my calendar for my part of the state.
Take care of yourself. That's your job.
Yeah.
Face tattoo.
Exactly. I'm getting a face tattoo to decompress. But we do, there is on February 1st, there is, if anybody is listening from the East Liverpool area, we're doing a reproductive justice, health fair in the East Liverpool area, because that's an area that doesn't always have as many resources as some other places in the state. So
what is the closest abortion clinic to East Liverpool?
Pittsburgh
Mm-hmm.
or Northeast Ohio Women's Center in Cuyahoga Falls, I think. I think the Cuyahoga Falls Clinic and Bedford Heights Planned Parenthood are equidistant. And then Planned Parenthood in Pittsburgh is a little bit closer, but you'd have to pay the tolls because it's over state lines.
Oh.
Yeah. But yeah, so we're going to go, and WHO is going, and Planned Parenthood's going, and Urge is going. And so we're going to go talk about our programs and what we do, and have flyers and merch and buttons and fun stuff. So if you are in that area of the state, please come out and learn about the ways the repro community can help your community.
Hell yeah. All right. That's all we have for you this week. Bye.